Hi everyone and a very warm welcome. I am Faraz Hassan, your GCSE Maths Mentor, and in this video we will be walking through the GCSE Edexcel Maths Paper 2H. That's the calculator paper from June 2023. Whether you are brushing up ahead of your exams or just looking to sharpen your problem solving skills, you are in exactly the right place. We will go through every question step by step, the way the exam board expects you to. No shortcuts, just clear methods, top tips, and a few reminders of where marks are gained and lost. Right then, let's get into question number 1A. We have been asked to work out the value of 25 minus square root of 43.87 divided by 6 plus 2.1 square. Write down all the figures on your calculator display. So that's the calculator paper. We have to use our calculator. So let's open the calculator. Now, the first step we have to do here is to press the fraction key because we have to put exactly what is written over there. So press 25 minus square root 43.87 and press the down arrow key, and then 6 plus 2.1, and 2.1 has a square. Press the square button and press equal. Now it says write down all the figures on your calculator display. So we have to put exactly the same number as it is, 1.76527923. Okay, the next one is work out the value of the reciprocal of 0.625. Again, here we have to use the calculator. So to find the reciprocal of 0.625, reciprocal means 1 over that number. So we have to press the fraction key here and then press 1 over 0.625. Press equal. You're getting 8 over 5. Don't worry, just press the SD button to get your answer in the decimal. So it is 1.6. So we can write it here 1.6. Okay, coming to question number 2. Write 60 as a product of its prime factor. So first we have to do write 60 over there, and then we all know that 2 times 30 is 60. 2 is the prime number, so you have to divide 60 by the smallest prime number, and 2 is the smallest prime number. 2 times 30 will give you 60. Now 2 is a prime, so you cannot break it, but you can break this composite number 30 into its factor. Again, we have to use prime factors of 30, so it is 2 times 15. Now if I break 15 into 2 factors, so it has to be 3 into 5. Now you just have to encircle all the prime numbers. So 2, 2, 3, and 5. These are the product of its prime factor. So we will write 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. Okay, there is one more way to do this question. We can write 60 in this way, and then we can do 2 times 30 is 60, and then 2 times 15 is 30, and then 5 times 3 is 15, and then 3 times 1 is 3. So we have to write down all those prime factors here, 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. So you can do it in this way also, but it is better to use the tree diagram. Okay, question number 3. There are 48 counters in a bag. There are only red counters and blue counters in the bag. Number of red counters is to number of blue counters equals to 1:2. Helen has to work out how many red counters are in the bag. She says there are 24 red counters in the bag because 1 is half of 2 and 24 is half of 48. Is Helen correct? You must give a reason for your answer. Okay, so understand the ratio here. The question says number of red counters is to number of blue counters equal 1:2. This means for every one red counter, there are two blue counters. For every one red counter, there are two blue counters. So in total, every group contains 1 plus 2 equal to 3 counters. So we can write 1 plus 2 is equals to 3 parts. Now we can say that 3 parts is equals to 48 counters. Now, if you want to calculate for one part, you have to divide this 3 by 3 because we know that 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. So if you are dividing 3 on the left side, you have to divide 3 on the right side as well. 48 divided by 3, it will give you 16 there. 16 counters. So one part equals to 16 counters. So we can write, so there are 16 red counters. That's our answer, and not 24. So Helen says there are 24 red counters, but we calculated there are 16. So Helen is not correct. Helen is not correct. Okay, in question number 4, minus 2 less than and equal to n less than 5. N is an integer. Write down the greatest possible value of n. So in this question, we can rewrite the inequality in this way also, that n is greater than and equal to minus 2 and n is less than 5. If you read it from the center, n is actually greater than and equal to negative 2 and n is less than 5. Write down the greatest possible value of n. So we first have to write all the numbers which are greater than negative 2, and negative 2 is also included because it is greater than and equal to negative 2. So we have to write negative 2 and all the numbers which are greater than negative 2. So it has to be minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to stop here because it says that n is also less than 5. Now write down the greatest possible value of n. So the greatest possible value of n is 4 there. So we will write 4 in the answer. In part B, on the number line below, show the inequality minus 4 less than and equal to m less than 1. We can also write this inequality in this way, that m is greater than and equal to negative 4 and m is less than 1, which means that m is all those integers who are greater than negative 4 and also equal to negative 4. So we can write minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, but it has to be less than 1. So you cannot write 1 there. So we have to stop there. But on the number line below, we have to show this. So we have to give answer in this way. Put a solid dot on negative 4 there in this way, and put an empty dot or an empty circle on 1 and join these two circles together. It shows that m is greater than and equal to negative 4 and m is less than 1. So you just have to do the number line representation here. The correct number line representation would show a fill circle at negative 4, a hollow circle at 1, and a solid line connecting all values in between. So you don't have to write these values there. Okay, to solve this inequality, we will add 4 on both sides. So it will become like this, 2 over 5g minus 4. You have to add 4 on both sides. In this way. Why we are adding 4 on both sides? To remove this negative 4 from the left side. So this will become 2 over 5g minus 4 plus 4 is 0. Less than 6 plus 4 is 10. Now we need to multiply 5 on both sides to remove this 5 from the denominator. So you have to multiply 5 on both sides in this way. 5 times 2 over 5g less than 10 multiply by 5. And this will give you 5 cancel by 5. 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 5. And then 1 into 2 is 2g. We know this thing that you have to multiply numerator with numerator and denominator with the denominator. So in the denominator of 5, we have 1 there. So 1 times 1 will give you 1 in the denominator. Usually we do not write 1 in the denominator, and it is 2g less than 10 into 5 is 50. Now to remove this 2, because we have to find the value of g, to remove this 2, you have to divide 2 on both sides. So it will give you 2g over 2 less than 50 over 2. And in the next step, the final step, 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 25s are 50. So it is actually g is less than 25. We will write our answer in this way, g less than 25. To the next question, question number 5. Here is a triangle and a rectangle. All measurements are in centimeters. The area of the triangle is 10 centimeters square, greater than the area of the rectangle. So in this question, we first have to find out the area of the triangle. As we know, the formula for the area of triangle is base into height. Area of triangle is equals to base into height divided by 2. So we have to identify that base is 8 and height is 6x. So we will write 8 times 6x over 2. Now you can do this. 2 ones are 2, 2 into 4 is 8, and then 4 multiplied by 6x is 24x. That's the area of triangle. Now in the next step, we have to figure out the area of rectangle. So in this one, the area of rectangle, base is 5 and height is 4x minus 1. As we know, the formula for area of rectangle is equals to base into height only. So the value of base is 5 and the value of height is 4x minus 1. We can use the bracket there because we have to multiply 5 with 4x and 5 with minus 1. So 5 times 4x is 20x and 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. So that's the area of rectangle. Now we have both areas. So as we know this statement in the question, it is given that area of the triangle is 10 centimeters square, greater than the area of the rectangle. Now use this statement. So area of triangle, is 10 centimeters square more than the area of the rectangle. So we can write this thing 24x, that is the area of triangle, equals to 20x minus 5, that is the area of rectangle. And it says that 10 centimeters square more. So you just have to add plus 10 over there because it says 10 centimeters square more. Then after this, solve this equation. So we will separate x terms at one side, 24x, it will become 24x minus 20x equals to minus 5 plus 10. Well, minus 5 plus 10 is just 5 and 24x minus 20x is 4x. So the value of x would become 5 over 4. If you divide 4 on both sides, you will get x equals to 5 over 4. 4x over 4 equal 5 over 4. So 4 cancel by 4 and you will get x equals to 5 over 4. Okay, in question number 6, last year a family recycled 800 kg of household waste. 57% of this waste was paper and glass. Weight of paper recycled is to weight of glass recycled equals to 12:7. Calculate the weight of glass the family recycled. So here we have to check the ratio first. So weight of paper recycled is to weight of glass recycled is 12 is to 7. Therefore, we know that 12 at 7, total we have 19 parts. Now it says 57% of this waste was paper and glass. So we have to do 57% of 800 kg is the total household waste. So 57% of 800 kg has to be equals to 57% means 57 over 100, which is 0.57 multiplied by 800. If you do this calculation inside the calculator, 0.57 multiply 800 equals to 456. 456 kg of waste. 456 kg of paper and glass. Now we know that total we have 19 parts. So 19 parts are representing, because in ratio it is 12 is to 7. 12 plus 7 is equals to 19. So 19 parts is equals to 456 kg. And then if we want to calculate it for one part, we have to divide it by 19 on both sides. 19 divided by 19 is 1. Therefore, 456 divided by 19. And if we do 456 divided by 19, 456 divided by 19 equals to 24. So that is 24 kg. One part is representing 24 kg. So we have to check for the 7 parts, because it says calculate the weight of glass the family recycled. So we know for sure that weight of glass recycled is 7. Weight of paper recycled is 12 and weight of glass recycled is 7. So we have to calculate for the 7 parts. So you have to multiply 1 by 7. Similarly, you have to multiply 24 by 7. 24 times 7 is 168 kg of glass. Okay, let's start question number 7. A number d is rounded to one decimal place. The result is 12.7. Complete the error interval for d. Okay, let's start solution by steps. So the step 1 is understanding rounding to one decimal place. So when a number is rounded to one decimal place, it means the number could lie halfway between the closest two values that round to that decimal. I'm repeating it again. When a number is rounded to one decimal place, it means the number could lie halfway between the closest two values that round to that decimal. So step 2 is determine lower and upper bounds. So if we determine the lower and upper bounds, the number 12.7 is the result after rounding. So therefore the lowest value that would round to 12.7 is halfway between 12.6 and 12.7. So we can do 12.6 plus 12.7 divided by 2. And that is going to be equal to 12.65. And the highest value that would round to 12.7 is halfway between 12.7 and 12.8. So 12.7, if I do it here, 12.7 and add 12.8 divided by 2, that is going to be equal to 12.75. So the error interval is 12.65 till 12.75. That's our final answer. Now, key concept explanation is that when rounding to one decimal place, the number can be up to 0.05 away from the rounded value. The error intervals spans from the midpoint below the rounded value to just below the midpoint above it. Okay, let's move to question number 8. Tasmin buys a house with a value of 150,000. The value of Tasmin's house increases by 4% each year. Rachel buys a house with a value of 160,000. The value of Rachel's house increases by 1.5% each year. At the end of 2 years, whose house has the greater value? You must show how you get your answer. Okay, let's start with the compound interest formula. So, compound interest formula is final value is equals to initial value multiply 1 plus rate to the power of t. So for Tasmin's house, value after 2 years, it has to be 150,000 multiply 1 plus rate is 4% each year. So 4% means 4 over 100, which is 0.04. And time here is, we see, at the end of 2 years. So it means we have to write power 2, and that is going to be equal to 150,000 multiply 1.0816, which is equals to 162240. Okay, moving to the next step, we have to calculate Rachel's house value after 2 years. So it has to be 160,000 times 1 plus. Now it says 1.5%. 1.5% means 1.5 over 100, which will give you 0.015. So 100% is 1 actually, because if we do 100%, that means 100 over 100, and 100 over 100 is 1. So we have to add 1 plus 0.015 to the power of 2 again, and you can solve it directly in the calculator. 160,000 multiply 1 plus 0.015 to the power of 2. Press equals. It will give you 164836. 164836 in pounds. It is quite simple that Rachel's house has the greater value after 2 years. It's quite obvious because the amount is 164,836 and Tasmi's house amount is 162,240. So in the last, we can say that Rachel's house has the greater value. Greater value after 2 years. So compound interest of growth involves applying a percentage increase to an amount repeatedly over multiple time periods. It grows exponentially, not linearly, because each increase builds on the previous total. If you are confused in this step, like 1 plus 0.04, let me guide you one more time again. So it is actually 4% there. Increase 100% is the original amount and 4% is the increase. So 100% plus 4% is 104%, and 104% is 1.04. Okay. Similarly, here for the rational house, it is 1.5% each year. It means 100% is the original amount and then 1.5%. So that is 101.5, which means 1.015. That is in percentage, and if you divide it by 100, decimal will shift to 2 digits to the left side, so it will become 1.015, and that is 1.04. Now if you want to calculate at the end of 2 years, so for Tasmin's house final value would be, first of all we have to write down the price of it, 150,000 multiplied by 1.04 for this mean. But how many years? 2 years. So we have to use power 2 there. And for Rachel's house, it is 160,000 multiply 1.015 for how many years? 2 years again. Now calculate both of them. We will get the same answer. 150,000 times 1.04 to the power of 2 equal 16. 2240 162,240 pounds after 2 years. And for Rachel house, the value would become 160,000 multiply 1.015 to the power of 2. Press equal, and that would give you 164,836 pounds. So see, again we are getting the same answer. So you can do it in this way also if you find this method easy. Let's start with question number 9. The cumulative frequency table gives information about the ages of 80 people working for a company. The table gives us the upper class boundary and the cumulative frequency for each class. This means, for example, that 20 people are aged 30 or less. Then 48 people are aged 40 or less, and so on. So here we have to plot the cumulative frequency against the upper class boundary. So on the grid opposite, draw a cumulative frequency graph for this information. So to draw the graph, we have to identify the x-axis and y-axis. So x-axis, this will be the upper age values, class boundaries, and these are 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So these values, we have to place those values on x-axis, and for y-axis, that's the cumulative frequency 20, 48, 64, 75, and 80. So the coordinates will look like this: 30, 20, 40, 48, 50, 64, 75, and 70, 80. 30, 20, 40, 48, 50, 64, 60, 75, 70, 80. So we have to plot all these coordinates to make the cumulative frequency graph for this information. So each point on the graph corresponds to an upper class boundary and its cumulative frequency. So we have to plot all these coordinates here: 30, 20, and then 40, 48 has to be there. 40, 48, and then 50, 64 has to be there, and then 60, 75, 60, 75 it has to be there, and the last one is 70, 80, it has to be there. Now join them. You have to join them with the free hand. So it will look like this. And you have to join 0 also. So each of these represents the total number of people who are at or below the age in the pair. Now after plotting the points, you have to connect them, and this gives the cumulative frequency graph. It always starts low and increases since you are accumulating more people in each group. Okay, in part B it says that use your graph to find an estimate for the median age. So to do it, we have to find half of the total frequency. So you see the total frequency is 80. So you see total is 80 and half of it would be 40. So 40 for 80 people. So draw a horizontal line. Draw a horizontal line from 40 on the y-axis to the curve. Draw a horizontal line from 40 on y-axis to the curve. Then draw a vertical line down to the x-axis. Almost there. The x value where it lands is the estimated median age. So if we look at this value, this is 35, 35, 36, 37. So therefore, we will write 37 there. The median age is 37. Question number 10. A biased dice is thrown 60 times. The table shows information about the number that the dice lands on each time. Number on dice and their respective frequencies are given. Get in throw the dice twice. Work out an estimate for the probability that the dice will land on 6 both times. So let's solve this probability question about a biased dice. We are asked to estimate the chance of rolling a 6 twice in a row based on experimental data. So a biased dice is thrown 60 times. Estimate the probability that it lands on 6 both times. So here in part A, first we add all the frequency to find the total number of throws. So total number of throws equals to 12 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 15 is equals to 60. Next we calculate the probability of landing on a 6th one. So we will write P of 6 equals to frequency of 6 divided by total throws. It will give you 15 over 60, and that is going to be equal to 1 over 4. 15 into 1 is 15. 15 fours are 60. 1 over 4. Step 3. Since getting throws the dice twice, we multiply the probabilities together. So we have to find P6 and 6. And that is going to be equal to 1 over 4 times 1 over 4, which is 1 over 16. And 1 over 16 equals to 0.0625. So the estimated probability that the dice lands on 6 both times is 1/16 or 0.0625. Part B. What can you say about the value of n? Sally is going to throw the same dice n times and record the number it lands on each time. She will use her results to work out a more reliable estimate for the probability in part A. So what can you say about the value of n? To make her estimate more reliable, the value of n should be large. More trials lead to more accurate result. So let's take a closer look at part B because this point is really important. Sally is trying to get a more reliable estimate of the probability, and the previous experiment used 60 throws. So for her estimate to actually be more reliable, she has to throw the dice more than 60 times. That means the value of n should be greater than 60. Why? Because the more trials you perform, the closer your results will be to the true probability. And that's exactly what the law of large numbers tells us. So Sally wants a more reliable estimate. Her value of n must be greater than 60. So here we can write Sally wants a more reliable estimate. Her value of n must be greater than 60. So more trials equals to better accuracy. Law of large numbers. Again, question number 11. Use algebra to solve the simultaneous equations 2x plus 6y equal 5, 3x minus 4y equal negative 12. So in solution, we will start like this. We will have to rewrite the equations, and here we are doing the elimination method. Elimination method. So what is the elimination method? Elimination method means that you have to eliminate x, or you can eliminate y also. So if we eliminate x, we have to make the coefficient of x same in both equations. So how we can do it? First you have to rewrite the equations as it is, and then after writing both equations, we have to multiply the first equation by 3 on both sides and the second equation by 2 on both sides. If you look at closely, you will see that we are multiplying in the cross way because 2 is the coefficient of x in the first equation. So you have to multiply 2 in the second equation. And 3 is the coefficient of x in the second equation. So you have to multiply 3 in the first equation. In this way, we can make the coefficient of x same. So 2 into 3 is 6x plus 3 6 are 18y, as we are multiplying 3 by whole equation on both sides. So 6x plus 18y equal 15, and then 2 into 3x is 6x and 2 into negative 4y is negative 8y. Negative 12 into 2 is negative 24. Okay, after this step, we have to do to eliminate the x here, you have to change the sign of the second equation because 6x and 6x, they both are with addition, the plus sign. So you have to change the sign of the second equation. So it will become minus 6x plus 8y plus 24. Or you can simply say that multiply negative 1 by second equation on both sides. So you will get minus 6x minus plus 8y plus 24. And then after this step, we can cancel 6x minus 6x. Now we will read it as 6x minus 6x. This one is plus 18y plus 8y. So that would give you 26y equal 15 plus 24. That is going to be equal to 39. Now 26y means 26 times y. So 26 will divide on the other side. 39 will remain as it is, and 39 divided by 26, which will give us 3 over 2. So y equals to 3 over 2. As we know that 13 into 3 is 39, 13 into 2 is 27. Y is 3 over 2 means y equals to 1.5. To find the value of x, we have to substitute y. To find the value of x, we have to substitute y is equals to 3 over 2 in any of the above equations. So we will do equation number 2 there, which is 3x minus 4y equal minus 12, and then 3x minus 4 times 3 over 2 equal minus 12. So 3x minus 4y equal minus 12, and then we can do it like this. 3x minus 4 times 3 over 2 equal negative 12. And after this step, we can do 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. So that would give you 3x minus 2 times 3 is minus 6 equal minus 12. And then 3x is equals to minus 12 plus 6. Minus 12 plus 6 means 3x equals to minus 6. And then x equals to minus 6 divided by 3, which means x equals to minus 2. So the values are minus 2 and y equals to 3 over 2 or 1.5. Okay, let's start the question number 12. We are given a rectangle ABCD inside a circle. All 4 corners touch the circle. That's right. This rectangle is perfectly inscribed. So here you see that AB is equals to 8 centimeter, and BC equals to 10 centimeter. Rectangle is inscribed in a circle with center O. Now remember, when a rectangle is inside a circle like this, its diagonal is actually the diameter of the circle. So if we make the diameter from A to C, that's a diameter because it is passing through the center of the circle. Now, step 2 is to finding the diagonal using Pythagoras. So, time to unleash the Pythagorean theorem. If we know two sides of the rectangle, we can find the diagonal. So, to find the diagonal AC, we can do this calculation that AC equals to the square root of AB square plus BC square, and that would be AC equals to square root of AB square means 8 square, BC square means 10 square. So AC equals to square root of 64 plus 100. Now square root of 64 plus 100 would be square root of 164. So the diagonal length is square root of 164. Okay, now the diagonal is about, if we solve it in decimal, it would be 12.8 centimeter. And that's the same as the diameter of the circle. Now that we know the diameter, it's time to go full circle. Let's calculate the circumference. So the formula for the circumference is pi times diameter. So C equals to pi times square root of 164. And if we do this calculation in the calculator by taking pi as it is in the calculator, you will get 40.2 centimeter in three significant figures. Okay, question number 13. ABC is a triangle. Calculate the size of angle BAC. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. So two sides, one angle, and a triangle full of mystery. Let's unlock the missing angle in triangle ABC using nothing but the sine rule and a little triangle wisdom. So first we have to label the triangle. So this is our angle A, and opposite to this angle we have side A over there. So angle A and side A is not given. Angle C is not given, but the side C is given as 15 centimeter. Angle B is given as 70, and side B is also given as 18 centimeter. So the side which is not given to us is A, so we cannot use A there, or we cannot use the angle A. So we can use sine C over small c equals to sine B over small b. Small b means the side 18 centimeter, small c means 15 centimeter. So sine C over small c is 15 equals to sine B. It is 70 there, and small b is 80. Now then we can do sine C equals to sine 70 over 18 multiplied by 15. Okay, now we can do our last step. C equals to sine inverse of sine 70 over 18 multiplied by 15. Close the bracket. Now we have to find the value of C by doing this calculation in the calculator. So by pressing the shift button, and then if we press sine, it will give us sine inverse, and then use the fraction key. We have to put exactly the same thing, sine 70 over 18 times by 15. Close the bracket, equals to 51.54. So angle C would become C equals to 51.54, which means 51.5 degree, and thus our angle C there. C means angle BCA equals to 51.5 degrees. Now step 3 is to find angle BAC. So find the angle BAC, this one, as we already calculated this angle as 51.5 degree. Now we only have to calculate this angle. So we will use the triangle sum to find angle BAC. So angle BAC is not given, plus angle BCA equals 51.5 and angle ABC equals to 180. Now angle BAC is not given, we have to calculate it, plus angle BCA is 51.5 degrees and angle ABC is 70 degrees equals to 180 degrees. Therefore angle BAC 51.5 at 70. So 51.5 plus 70 is 121.5 degrees equals 180. And then in the final step, we can write angle BAC equals 180 degree minus 121.5 degree. So 180 minus 121.5, and that would give us 58.5 degrees. That is angle BAC, correct to one decimal place. So that's it. Angle BAC is 58.5 degrees, accurate to one decimal place. Triangle mystery solved. Okay, question number 14. Show that x square minus x minus 6 over 2x square minus 5x minus 3 can be written in the form ax plus b over cx plus d, where a, b, c and d are integers. So we have to factorize both numerator and denominator separately. So x square minus x minus 6. Now in this expression, that's a quadratic expression and we have to factorize it by using the middle term breaking. So to factorize it, we will write x square as it is and minus 6 as it is. Now what you have to do, you have to multiply the coefficient of x square with the last number, which is minus 6. 1 into minus 6 is minus 6. Okay, keep this minus 6 there. Now after this step, you have to multiply the signs of the quadratic expression. So here is plus and here is minus. Plus into minus will give you minus there, and then after that minus into minus will give you plus there. It means we need two number, and minus and plus means subtraction. We need two numbers that subtract to give -1 and multiply to give -6. We need two numbers that multiply to give -6. So one number must be negative, the other one must be positive. Multiply to give -6 and subtract to give -1. As we know, the middle term is -1 there. So the two numbers are 3 and 2, because 3 times 2 is 6 and -3 plus 2 is -1. -3 into +2, -3 plus 2 is -1. -3 times +2 is -6. Now here we have to group it like this, x square minus 3x and plus 2x minus 6. We have to group it in this way. So you have to factorize the x square minus 3x first. So we can write x in the bracket and then x minus 3. Close the bracket. So you can check it again. X into x is x square, x into minus 3 is minus 3x. And then we will do plus 2 as it is, and then in the bracket x minus 3 again. See, plus 2 times x is plus 2x, plus 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. Now we have x minus 3 and x minus 3 is common. You can take x minus 3 as common, and then we will write x plus 2. X minus 3 and x plus 2. So x minus 3 and x plus 2 are the factors of the numerator. Now the denominator is 2x square minus 5x minus 3. So if we solve the denominator separately, 2x square minus 5x minus 3. So we have to multiply again the coefficient of x square with the last number, which is minus 3. 2 into minus 3 is minus 6 again. Now we have to drag down the first term as it is and the last term as it is, as we are going to break our middle term -5x into two terms. Now the next step is to multiply the signs. So we will know that what are the signs there. of these two terms which are in blank. Plus into minus will give you minus there. Minus into minus will give you plus there. So we need two numbers that minus and plus means subtraction. We need two numbers that subtract to give -5 and multiply to give -6. Subtract to give -5 and multiply to give -6. So the first number must be negative, the other one must be positive. So those two numbers are 6 and 1. -6 times +1 is -6 and subtract to give -5. So those two numbers are -6 and +1 is -5. So -6x plus x there. Then after this step, we can take 2 common x common from the first two terms, 2x bracket x minus 3 and then plus 1 bracket x minus 3 again. X minus 3 is a common, x minus 3, and then we have 2x plus 1 there. We have factorized the both expression, both numerator and denominator separately. So it will look like this. X plus 2 and x minus 3, they were the factors of the numerator, and in the denominator x minus 3 bracket 2x plus 1. These are the factors of the denominator. So x minus 3 and x minus 3 cancel by 1 and 1, and we will left with x plus 2 over 2x plus 1. Now if you compare it with the given form ax plus b over cx plus d, ax plus b over cx plus d. So the coefficient of x here is 1. So a is 1, b is 2. And c is 2 again. And d is 1. Okay, question number 15. This is the question of quadratic sequence. Here are the first four terms of a quadratic sequence 3, 9, 17, 27. Find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of the sequence. Okay, to solve the quadratic sequence, we must know these three formulas, that 2a equals to second difference, 3a plus b equals to second term minus first term, and the last one is a plus b plus c equals to first term. So to solve the quadratic sequence, first we have to find the second difference. And how we can find the second difference? We just have to subtract like this, 9 minus 3, that will give you 6. And then 17 minus 9 is 8 there, 27 minus 17 is 10. Now 8 minus 6 is 2 and 10 minus 8 is 2. So we are seeing that second difference is constant. So we will use the first equation, 2a equals to second difference and 2a equals to second difference is 2. So therefore dividing by 2 on both sides will give you 2 over 2, and that means a equals to 1. After this step, we can do with the second equation, 3a plus b equals second term minus first term. So we will write 3a plus b equals second term minus first term, and then 3, the value of a is 1 plus b will remain as it is. Second term is given as 9. First term is given as 3. 3 plus 3 ones are 3. 3 plus b equal 9 minus 3 is 6. And then we can find the value of b also. B equals to 6 minus 3, and therefore b equals to 3. After this, we have to use the third equation, a plus b plus c equal first term. So a plus b plus c equals first term. A plus b plus c equals first term. and therefore if we use the value of A, which is 1, plus B is 3, C will remain as it is, equal first term is 3. So that is 4 plus C equals 3, and then C equals to 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So the values are A as 1, B as 3, and C as negative 1. So the nth term formula will look like this. Tn is equals to, because the general form of the quadratic nth term is an squared plus bn plus c. Therefore, it will look like this. A means 1. So 1n square means n square plus bn. B is 3. So it will become 3n plus c, which means minus 1. So n square plus 3n minus 1. So the sequence is n square plus 3n minus 1. Okay, let's start question number 16. The histogram gives information about the number of hours some students used their phones last week. The histogram is incomplete. So you are given a histogram where 28 students used their phone for 30 to 40 hours. 24 students used their phones for between 40 to 60 hours. You are asked to complete the histogram and find the total number of students. So let's begin by checking the bar that's already drawn. We will make sure the height matches the data before moving on. Okay, we can label it like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is there. So confirm the bar from 30 to 40 hours. So here we have 30 to 40 hour, the frequency is 28. Last bit, if we talk about the class width, we have to do 40 minus 30, that is 10. Now to calculate the frequency density, we will use this 28 frequency divided by class width. Frequency divided by class width. So frequency is 28 and divided by class width is 10. That will give you 2.8 there. So that is 2.8 over there. 2.8. So let's say use this information to complete the histogram. Now let's complete the missing bar. We will use the frequency and width to calculate how tall this one should be. In step 2, we have to draw the bar from 40 to 60 hours. So here, if you look at it, in between 40 and 60 hours, the frequency is 24. Class width would become 60 minus 40. That would give you 20. 60 minus 40, that is 20. So to make this bar, frequency equals 24, class width equals to 60 minus 40 equals 20, and then if we do the frequency density, that is going to be equal to, as the frequency is 24 divided by 20. 24 divided by 20. So here we have 1.2. So draw the bar from 40 to 60 with a height of 1.2. So 1.2 is there. The whole line is 1. So 1.2 must be there. And we have to draw it from 40 to 60. Like this. With a height of 1.2. So that's the height of 1.2 there. With all the bars in place, it's time to find the total number of students. Just remember, area of each bar gives you the frequency. So our next step would be work out the total number of students. So here for this step, we will do frequency equals to frequency density multiply class width. So if we do bar by bar calculation, 0 to 20 hours, 0 to 20 hours, that is 1.6 times 20. This one 20 to 30, that must be 3.6 there. 3.6 is there. So 3.6 times 10 in between 20 and 30 is 10. The difference is 10. And it is already given 28, and 40 to 60 hours, it is already given 24. So now you just have to add all the frequency. So 32 plus 36 plus 28 plus 24, and that would give us 120. So we can write our answer as 120 there. Okay, let's start question number 17. Show that the equation x4 minus x square minus 5 equals 0 can be written in the form x equal 4th root of x square plus 5. So we have to show that this equation, the given equation, can be written in this form. So we can write it as x4 equals to, shift this negative x square to the right side, it will become plus x square, and shift this negative 5 to the right side, it will become plus 5. Or you can say that adding x square on both sides and adding plus 5 on both sides. Now to remove this power 4 from x, we have to take 4th root on both sides. So it will look like this: 4th root of x4 equal 4th root of x square plus 5. And we know that 4th root of x4 means that x4 to the power of 1 over 4. And we can apply power of power there. So according to the rule power of power, 4 times 1 over 4, you have to multiply power with power. 4 times 1 over 4 means 4 over 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that would be x to the power of 1, which means x. So therefore, we can cancel 4 with the 4th root, and then we will have x equal to 4th root of x square plus 5. Okay, now we dive into the iteration starting with x naught equal 1.5. Use the iteration formula xn plus 1 equal 4th root of xn square plus 5 3 times to find an estimate for a solution of x4 minus x square minus 5 equal 0. So we will plug it into our formula xn plus 1 equals to 4th root of xn square plus 5. Now we can write it as x1 equals to 4th root of xn square. So if you substitute n as 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, and then it is x0 square plus 5, which will become 4th root of x0 means 1.5, 1.5 square plus 5. We have to write shift and then press this x to the power key and then write 4 there, and 1.5 square plus 5. Press equal, and that is 1.6409. So we will write 1.6409. That's your x1. Remember one thing that we did: x0 plus 1 equal 4th root of x0 square plus 5. We start with x0 equal 1.5. Using our formula, we calculate x1 equals to 1.6409. Now looking good so far. Let's take that result and feed it back into the formula to refine our estimate. So in the first step, n was 0. Now if we do it with n equal 1, then it would become, with the same formula xn plus 1 equal 4th root of xn square plus 5, it will become x1 plus 1 equal 4th root of x1 square plus 5. So it will be 1 plus 1 would be x2 equal 4th root of, what is x1? x1 is 1.6409, which we calculated earlier, 1.6409 to the power of 2 plus 5. And then if we calculate it in the calculator, so we have to press shift and then x power key, Now press 4 and press right arrow key and input your value 1.6409. Press square key and plus 5 equals, so it is 1.66539, which means that we can do 1.6654. We have to write 1.6654. So we are getting closer to the actual solution. Okay, in the third step, we have to take n equals to 2 there. In the same formula, xn plus 1 equal 4th root of xn square plus 5. So n is 2 there, so 2 plus 1 equal 4th root of x2 square plus 5. Now we have already calculated the value of x2 in the previous iteration, and that was 1 point. So we'll have to write 4th root of 1.6654 square plus 5. That is x3. So x3 becomes, so we have to press shift and then press the power key there, 4 and 1.654 square plus 5. So it will give us 1.66976. So we can make it 1.6698. 1.6698. And there we have it. After 3 iterations, our estimate for the solution of x4 minus x square minus 5 equals 0 is approximately 1.6698. This method is a powerful way to approach complex equations using iterations. So in the third iteration, we can also write our complete answer 1.669763,445. 669,763,445. Start question number 18. 2a is to 5c equals 6 is to 25. 4b is to 7c equal 20 is to 21. Show that a plus b is to b plus c equals 17 is to 20. So let's start with 2a is to 5c equals 6 is to 25. 2a is to 5c equal 6 is to 25. We divide both sides by their coefficients to find a is to c. So we will write it as 2a over 2 equal 5c over 5 equal 6. The coefficient of a is 2 there, so that's why we have to divide 6 by 2. And the coefficient of c is 5 there, so that's why we have to divide 25 by 5. So a is to c will become 3, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 25 divided by 5 is 5. Now for 4b is to 7c equals 20 is to 21. Again divide the coefficients. The coefficient of b here is 4, so we have to divide it by 4. And the coefficient of c is 7, so we have to divide it by 7 there. Equals to, the first term is 20 there, so that is the corresponding term for b. So here the coefficient of b is 4, so we have to divide 20 by 4 and 21 by 7. So 4 divided by 4 is 1 and that is b. 7 divided by 7 is 1 and that is c. b is to c equal 20 divided by 4 is 5. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Now we are getting these to c as 5 is to 3. We need matching c values. Let's scale both ratios to make c equal to 15. So we want a is to b is to c. So first, to find a is to b is to c, we will write a is to c as 3 is to 5 and b is to c as 5 is to 3. As we want to make c common there, c is 5 there and c is 3 there. So we have to focus on c. We have to make it same in both ratios. So I can do like this. I can multiply 3 there, and because I know that c is 3 in the second ratio, this is the second ratio. So second ratio b is to c is 5 is to 3 and c is 3 there. That's why I'm multiplying 3 there. And I know that c is 5 in the first ratio. That's the first ratio. So in the first ratio, C is 5, so I have to multiply it 5 there. In that way, if I multiply, C will become common. So we can write it as, and when we are multiplying 3 by 5, we have to multiply 3 there as well, and we have to multiply 5 there as well. So this ratio will become A is to C equals to 3 into 3 is 9, 5 into 3 is 15, and B is to C equals to, so 5 times 5 is 25, 3 times 5 is 15. Now we are seeing here that 15 is common in both, so we can write it as A is to B is to C. A is to B is to C would become what? 9. A is 9 there, B is 25, and C is common in both, and that is 15. 9 is to 25 is to 15. Now in the next step, let's form A plus B is to B plus C. A plus B is to B plus C. Add the values. So the value of A, if we do this A plus B, that is 9 plus 25, which is 34. And if we do B plus C, that is 25 plus 15, that is equals to 40. Now according to the ratio, we have to find A plus B is to B plus C, and that is 34 is to 40. And if we divide it both sides by 2, 34 divided by 2 and 40 divided by 2, that is going to be equal to 2 ones are 2, 2 17s are 34, and 2 ones are 2, 2 20s are 40. So that is 17 is to 20, and that's our answer. So the final answer, A plus B is to B plus C equal 17 is to 20. Okay, question number 19. ABC is a right angle triangle. AB is given as 9.3 centimeter, correct to the nearest millimeter. AC equal 12.6 centimeter, correct to the nearest millimeter. Calculate the lower bound for the size of the angle marked X. You must show all your working. So let's talk bounds. Since measurements are given to the nearest millimeter, that means a precision of plus minus 0.05 centimeter. Because we know that nearest millimeter means 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is actually 0.1 centimeter, and if you divide 0.1 centimeter divide by 2, that would give you 0.05 centimeter. So we have to subtract for the lower bound. So lower bound of AB equals to 9.3 minus 0.05, which will become 9.25 centimeter, and upper bound of AB equals to 9.3 plus 0.05, that is going to be equal to 9.35 centimeter. Lower bound of AC equals to 12.6 minus 0.05, that is equals to 12.55 centimeter, and upper bound of AC equals to 12.6 plus 0.05, that is equals to 12.65 centimeter. So for lower bound of angle X, for lower bound, because it says calculate the lower bound for the size of the angle marked X. So to get the smallest possible angle, we want the smallest opposite and the largest hypotenuse, which means that sin X equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is, angle X opposite is 9.3 centimeter, but here we have to take 9.25. Sin X equals to opposite over hypotenuse 9.25 over 12.65. If you divide lower by upper bound 9.25 by 12.65, that will give you the smallest possible angle. Because in division we know that if you divide by a larger value, your answer will become smaller. That's why we are taking upper bound in the denominator. So that will give you X equals to sine inverse of 9.25 over 12.65. So x would become, press shift and then sine key, sine inverse of 9.25 over 12.65, bracket close, equal 46.989. So we will write there 46.989. And that's your answer. So this is the answer for the lower bound of angle x. But suppose if they ask you the upper bound of angle x, what we will do? So that's the extra part I'm doing here for the upper bound of, for the upper bound of angle x. So for the upper bound of angle x, we just have to do sin x equals to 9.35. Here you have to take the upper bound of AB and you have to divide it by 12.55. And then if you do the calculation, you will get x equals to 47.830 degree. So that's the extra calculation I did there. It is upper bound of angle x. Okay, but that's not needed there. But suppose if they ask you to find the upper bound also, we can do that calculation. Number 20, ORT is a triangle, OT is equals to A, RT equals to B. M is the point on OR such that OM is to M are equal to is to 3. Express MT in terms of A and B. Give your answer in its simplest form. So OM is given as 2 and MR is 3, which means that if we count the total parts, 2 plus 3 is 5. So therefore OM is 2 over 5 and MR is 3 out of 5. Out of 5 parts, OM has 2 parts and out of 5 parts, MR has 3 parts. That's why it is OM is 2 over 5, MR is 3 over 5. Now we have to express MT in terms of A and B. The first thing we can do here is that we can find the OR vector. So OR must be equals to OT plus TR. And if we do that, OR is equals to OT is A and TR, as we are moving from TR in this direction, but the given vector is in the opposite direction. So TR would be minus B. So OR is equals to A minus B. Now use this ratio, OM is to MR equal 2 is to 3. And so MR equals to 3 over 5 of OR. 3 over 5 of OR. We can see that MR is 3 over 5 times OR. 3 over 5 of the complete length OR. And now we can substitute OR. We already know that it is A minus B. So MR is equals to 3 over 5 A minus B. Now find vector MT using triangle path. Now we travel from M to T. M to T. I can make this line over there. M to T, this vector. So MT equals to MR plus RT. MR plus RT. Now MR is already known to us. It is 3 over 5 times A minus B plus RT. If you look at RT, it is plus B. 3 over 5 A minus B plus B. So we traveled from M to T, which is MR followed by RT. And then we have to add those two vectors. So to calculate it, we can rewrite it as 3 over 5 multiply 3 over 5 by A and then minus 3 over 5B plus B. Now we can solve minus 3 over 5B plus B. So it is simply we have to do this fraction minus 3 over 5B plus B if there is a 1 in the denominator, we can take the LCM there. So it will be minus 3b plus 5 divided by 1, it will give you 5 there. So that is 5b. 5 minus 3 is 2 over 5b. So that is 3 over 5a plus 2 over 5b. And that is empty. That's our final answer for the vector empty in terms of a and b. Let's start question number 21. Here is the graph of y equal to f of x. On a grid below, draw the graph of y equal to f of x minus 4. So that is shifted down to 4 units. So we have to shift each and every point 4 units down like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to show it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be like this. And then for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be there in between minus 2 and minus 4. Means there. And then this coordinate 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to be there. And then finally the last one 1, 2, 3, 4 means here at this place. Now if we join each and every coordinate together, it will look like this. So that's the graph of y equal to f of x minus 4. Okay, in part B on the grid below, draw the graph of y equal to f of minus x. So first we have to draw in the question. It's given there. The graph is given there. So let's draw the same graph to do the question. Now we have to draw the reflection of it. So I'm using the blue color to solve it. Here, the first coordinate must be there. And for this one, because it says f of minus x, f of minus x reflection will look like this. Has to be there. This coordinate comes there. This one, it will come there. And this one at minus 3, it will come at plus 3. Now we have to join each and every coordinate. And that is our answer. So the red one, there's no need to draw the red one because that is the part of the question. I just made it for the reference. Okay, question number 22. There are only blue pens and red pens in a box. The number of blue pens is 4 times the number of red pens. Rita takes at random one pen from the box. She records the color of the pen and then replaces it in the box. Rita does this n times where n is greater than or equal to 2. Write down an expression in terms of n for the probability that Rita gets a blue pen at least once and a red pen at least once. Okay, let's start the solution of this. P of blue, as it is given that the number of blue pens is 4 times the number of red pens. So we can do it like this. Number of blue pens is equals to 4 times the number of red pens. So suppose the number of red pens is 1. So in that case, the number of blue pens will become 4. 4 times 1 is 4, which means that it clears the ratio that there is 1:4 ratio in between red and blue. So from this ratio, we can solve the question. We can write P of blue is equals to 4 over 5, as total parts are 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. And out of 5 parts, 4 parts are blue. And P of red equals to 1 over 5. Rita picks pen with replacement. Rita picks one pen at a time, notes its color, then pops it back in. She repeats this n times. So let's ask, what's the probability that she only ever sees blue pens? So we will write P all of blue equals to 4 over 5 to the power of n. And what's the chance she only sees red pens? So P all red equals to 1 over 5 to the power of n. Now find the required probability. So we want her to see at least one blue and at least one red. So we subtract the extremes, all blue and all red from 1. So therefore P mix of blue and red is equals to 1 minus P all blue minus P all red, and that would give us 1 minus 4 over 5 to the power of n minus 1 over 5 to the power of n. That is P mix of blue and red, and that's our answer, because it says that write down an expression in terms of n for the probability that Rita gets a blue pen at least once and a red pen at least once. Question number 23. Here are three similar triangles ABG, ACF and ADE. ABCD and AGFE are straight lines. AB is to BC is to CD equals 1 is to 2 is to 3. Show that area of ABG is to area of BCFG is to area of CDEF equals 1 is to 8 is to 27. We are given three similar triangles ABG, ACF and ADE with side ratios AB is to BC is to CD equals to 1 is to 2 is to 3. We need to find the area ratio of ABG, this one, and then BCFG, this one, and then CDEF, this one. As we are given the lengths of the ratio AB has 1, BC is 2 and CD is 3. If we make those triangles, so all the three triangles will look like this if we draw them separately. AGB with the length of AB 1, AFC, AC has the length of 3, AED and it has the length of 6. AD is the length of 6. So to understand it, these aren't just triangles stacked together. ABG is a triangle, but if you look at closely, BCFG, it's a trapezium, and similarly CDEF is also a trapezium like shapes formed by subtracting one triangle from another. So ratio of similar triangles. The key is that these triangles are similar, so their area ratios will be the square of their length ratios. So AB is to AC is to AD, you can write it as AP is to AC is to AD equals to 1 is to 3 is to 6. AB is 1, but if you consider AC, 1 plus 2, AC will become 3. And if you consider CD also, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So AB is to AC is to AD. So AB is to AC is to AD equals to 1 is to 3 is to 6. So the area ratio would be 1 square is to 3 square is to 6 square, which will make it 1 is to 9 is to 36. Now area of ABG equals to 1. Area of triangle ABG equals to 1, and area of BCFG, it must be equal to area of AFC, triangle AFC minus area of AGB, and that would be, if we look at the area of AFC, because we have already known the ratios, 1 is to 9 is to 36 and 9 is the area of AFC, so 9 minus AGB area is 1. 9 minus 1, that is equals to 8. Area of CDEF equals to area of triangle AED, minus area of triangle AFC. Now AED is a complete triangle, and the area of triangle AED is 36. 36 minus AFC area is 9. 36 minus 9, that is equals to 27. So we can write it as triangle ABG is to BCFG is to CDEF is 1 is to 8 is to 27. And that's how we use the power of similar triangles to unlock complex area ratios. Simple, structured, and smart. Question number 24. The diagram shows 8 identical regular octagons joined to enclose a shaded shape. Each octagon has sides of length A. Find in terms of A an expression for the area of the shaded shape. Give your answer in the form P bracket 2 plus square root of 2A square, where P is an integer. You must show all your working. So let's crack this beautifully layered geometry problem involving regular octagons and shaded area and express our answer in a neat algebraic form. We are told the shape is made by placing 8 identical octagons around a central shaded area. The task is to find the area of this shaded region in terms of A, the side length. So strategy here is the shaded region is a large square with 4 identical right angle triangles at the corner. So we will find the area of the square and the triangles and add them up. So each triangle has two sides of length A and angles of 45, 45 and 90 degree that makes them right angled isosceles triangle. So let's start the solution. Shaded area is a square plus 4 triangles. Exterior angle of octagon equals to 360 divided by 8, that is equals to 45 degrees. So triangles have angles 45, 45 and 90. So if I make this triangle separately, it will look like this, because each octagon has side length of A there. So that's why this side is A, this side is A. And the angles are 45, 45. As we know, the exterior angle of octagon is 360 divided by 8, because there are 8 identical regular octagons. That's why 360 divided by 8 equals to 45 degree. And here we have 90-degree angle. Next, we have to find the length on triangle. Using Pythagoras theorem. So we have to calculate it like this: c square equals to a square plus a square. We can also draw the triangle like this, and that's a 90-degree angle, and this side is c, hypotenuse, and these two lengths are a, and these two angles are 45 and 45. So we are applying Pythagoras theorem to calculate the hypotenuse. So c would become square root of 2a square. A square plus a square is 2a square, and then we have to take a square root on both sides, which will give c equals to square root of 2a square. So length of big square is a plus a square root of 2a square, and that would give you 2a plus square root of 2 and square root of a square. So 2a plus square root of 2a. So that is the length of the big square. As we know, the octagon has side of length a, so this side, this length is a there, and this length is also a, and this length, the triangle hypotenuse, is square root of 2a square, or it is just square root of 2a. So if we add them together, we will get 2a plus square root of 2a. Now we have to calculate the area of square. So area of square is 2a plus square root 2a, and then 2a plus square root 2a. If we multiply them, 2a times 2a, that would be 4a square. 2a times the square root of 2a, that would give us 2 square root 2a square. Again, we have to do square root of 2a times 2a, that would give us again 2 square root 2a square, and in the last term, square root of 2a multiplied by square root of 2a. So that is square root of 2 into square root of 2 into a square. So if we simplify it, 4a square plus 2 square root 2a square plus 2 square root 2a square, that would be 4 square root 2a square. And we know that square root 2 times square root 2 is 2a square. Square root 2 multiplied by square root 2 equals to 2. So 4a square plus 4 square root 2a square plus 2a square. So 4a square plus 2a square is 6a square plus 4 square root 2a square will remain as it is, and that's the area of square. 2a plus square root 2a and then 2a plus square root 2. Now area of each triangle is base times height divided by 2. So a times a over 2, a square over 2. So that is base, and this is height over there. Base times height divided by 2a square over 2. Total shaded area equals to square plus 4 triangles. As we have calculated the square area, which is 6a square plus 4 square root 2a square, and plus 4 triangles area would be 4 times a square over 2, which means 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. Now we can write it as 6a square plus 4 square root 2a square plus 2a square, and therefore 6a square plus 2a square is 8a square plus 4 square root 2a square. If we take the highest common factor 4 there, it will look like this: 4 brackets 2 plus square root 2 and then close the bracket a square. And that's our answer. In this final geometry challenge, we explored how identical regular octagons formed a shaded square-like shape by breaking it down into a large square and 4 right-angled triangles. We use algebra and Pythagoras' theorem to form an elegant expression, the final shaded area, which is 4 brackets 2 plus square root 2a square, neatly presented in terms of a as required, a perfect blend of geometry and algebra. And that wraps up our full walkthrough of the GCSE Edexcel Maths Paper 2H June 2023. Well done for sticking through all the questions from algebra to geometry, iteration to probability. You have built solid exam technique step by step. If this helped you revise better, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more past paper breakdowns and revision tips. Also, check out my YouTube channel, the GCSE Maths Mentor, for more topic focused problem solving videos. Let's make A-star grades not just a goal but a reality. Until next time, keep practicing and keep believing in yourself. You have got this.